So I have my paper account open here, and we're going to be going over different types of buy and sell orders. I know it might be review for some people, but I've been getting some questions on, what's the difference between a limit buy and a limit sell? When should I use each? How do I incorporate some more complex orders into my arsenal so that I could be taking advantage of all the tools that these brokers have to offer? So typically, guys, I'm going to be doing this in TD, and I know this doesn't look like the typical chart in my paper account, which I think is still like the default settings, but pretty much you see the candles here. It's the same stuff we have, in the other chart. I'm not sure how your TD looks, but I think it should be pretty similar to this because I've customized my actual one. Pretty much, it's sometimes beyond recognition, but. So we're going to go ahead and show you guys, one, what each of those orders means, and two, how to execute them in TD. So the first thing that we're going to want to do, guys, is when we're trading right on the chart, which I do recommend you do, is open up the active trader panel. And I think the default is going to be like 100 or 150 or 200 shares. For the sake of this video, let's just use like 10 shares here. So we're going to just use 10 shares. We're trading Tesla, so already it's $7,000. So I think it'll be good. Enough volume here. So the first most simple type of order, guys, is just a market buy order. And in order to do that, that's this big button here. You can either press this button or you can, I believe you can right click. Let's just see buy. Yeah, that's going to open up a limit order. So we're going to click this buy market MKT order here. And it's just going to open up our position at whatever the best possible price is at the fastest possible time. So it looks like our price here was 757.73, and that's where you can see your average price in this panel down here. Personally, I don't have either of these ticked off in my main account because I think it's distracting. This is just buys and sells. So this number is the number of shares you've bought the entire day, and then this number is just the entire number of shares that you've sold all day. Wow, $52. That's pretty cool. And then the zero is telling me that I just haven't sold any shares so far. Position long, I also do keep open. I'm sorry, on my typical platform or the normal version of TD because I always like to see what the open position is, right? So if your position is long 10, it means you have 10 shares. If your position is short 10, it means you have sold 10 shares, and to close that position, you'll need to sell to buy back those shares. If your position is 0, it means all of the buys and sells you've done throughout the day have canceled each other out and you have no position, right? So that means you're closed for the day when your position is 0. Okay, so that's a little bit off topic, but that's the easiest way is to just buy MKT. And if you want to sell market, looks like we got a nice decent fake profit here. We can hit sell market, and it's just going to get me out at the best possible price, at the fastest possible time, right? So even though you might give up a little bit to the spread, you're just saying, hey, take me out of my position at the best possible time. At the best possible price, but right now. I don't want to wait at all for for these orders to go in, right? So that's what sell market does. So those are the basics of market orders. I typically use market orders on the buy side when I'm trading shares. Okay, so I'm using market orders on the buy side when I'm trading shares. This is to do a couple things. One, it's to just make sure I get into that position, right? If I'm using a limit buy, which we'll go over in a second, if I'm using a limit buy to open my position, there's no guarantee that position is ever going to actually open. So I like to just use market to buy market. I never really sell market unless I'm opening to sell short, which I don't really do, but I never really sell market just because you can never trust the exact price that you're going to be getting out at, and it's always good to ensure your profit to sell limit. So we'll get into the limit buys and sells right now. So to limit buy and sell, you're just going to, it looks like they've already checked off auto send. But if you don't have auto send on, I'd recommend you just turning it off. If you want to, sorry, lost my train of thought there. If you want to buy a limit buy, you're going to right click on the chart at the spot where you'd like to limit buy and just click buy. It's going to open up this panel down here. It's just going to say hey, your buying power is going from 366. Wow, they give you a lot of money in this account. The buying power is going from 366 to minus 7,000, and then so buying power effects is minus 3,000. Yeah, so there's a lot of margin in there, so it's not a big deal. Don't worry about any of this. You're just gonna click send, and it's gonna open up your position here, and see how the stock isn't hitting that position yet, right? The stock is still above the 767.65, which is where I confirmed the buy. That is what the art of a limit sell is. It's saying, I'm not gonna get you into this position until I can guarantee you that you're gonna get the price that you specified or better, right? And so it's a waiting game at this point. You can wait for your price to actually tick down and hit that, or you can move your buy order up. You can change the limit. Actually, let's just cancel that because it just moved. You can move the limit price up by dragging. Some brokers will have you actually have to cancel the order manually and reset a limit order. But in TD, you can just drag the order around, and then hopefully this is going to hit in a second. And then boom, once your price hits that limit, once the price of the stock hits the limit price that you specified for the stock, it's going to execute. So again, guys, to specify what limit price you want, you're just going to right click on the chart, and then you're going to hit your buy at that point, right? And so to edit it, you can just go down here, edit, and it's going to say, hey, limit price 763.69. If the price hits that or below, I'm willing to take a position. If not, no big deal, I don't want to buy it. And you can tick this up or down. You can re-enter the price. Maybe it's 764.81, right? And then it's just really important to click out. It's really important to click out of that box before you actually send it, right? Because and then we'll go over that in a second here, but just make sure that's it's taken, and then you can hit confirm and send, and then it'll set another limit sell for you. If you'd like to cancel your order at any time, just click this X, and it's going to tell you canceled. We cancel that order for you. No longer in the queue. Okay, so that's the basics of limit orders. Now you can get a little bit more complex with OCO brackets and stop losses. Before we do that, I'm just going to go back to my point about the quantity. So if you're adjusting the quantity in this box below, I'm not sure if the paper charts do this too, but in the actual trading, it's a little bit of a flaw that the platform has. So if you type 100 here, you don't click out of this box and then you go to buy, it's not buying 100 shares. Right? We are still at the 10 share mark. So you need to make sure that when you type this number, you click out of the box and do something else, right? Or use these arrows, right? And then just make sure that when you're buying, it actually has the 100 here, because that's a flaw that the platform has. The 100, the new quantity, doesn't take until you click out of that box. And it does look like it's the same for the paper platform. It's something I've noticed in the live platform, which has got me a few times. I was like, why, when I was first starting, why is this not taking my order? So that's why you need to click out of the quantity box. Another thing you can do here, guys, is click this auto send, and that's just gonna bypass the box you saw down below. So if I click buy, click buy market, it's gonna buy market. If I click buy limit, it's going to set my limit buy, and it's going to go. So this is why I wanted to use paper money for this, because I'm just buying willy-nilly. So obviously you would have strategy when you do this, but let's take a look at some more complex orders, such as sells and some OCO brackets. So what I want to do here is show you guys how to get out of your position with a limit sell. It's going to be very much the same. We'll just take auto send back off, and what that's doing, again, guys, is just bypassing the order confirmation box. So we're going to right click here, and we're going to click sell, right, and then we're going to hit send, and it's going to sell whatever quantity is in this box, right? I know our position long is 210 right now, so we're only going to sell 100 at this point, and it's looking like this is where my limit sell is going to be. So if and when Tesla hits that limit price, my limit order will go when there's someone willing to take 100 shares off my hands. And, just to speed this up, I'm going to drag this down and say, hey, when this hits, please take me out of my position. I don't really care that I left $500. Let's see. All right, so just to speed this up. Of course it runs away from me. There we go. So after that limit price is hit, it's going to take me out of my position, right? You can now see that I've sold 110 shares total on the day, but my position long is still 110 because there's 110 shares still that I own that I need to get rid of. Let's just market sell these to get out of the position. 110, click out. It's very glitchy. Sell market, not typically something that I do, but it is something that, if my position's going sour, you can just click this button. It's a panic button. It's going to take you out of your position. Position is 0. Position is flat. That means I don't have any shares right now, long or short. So yeah, we lost a good dollar there, but it's all good. So next thing I want to show you guys is the custom buy orders, right? So when you click this buy here, and auto send is still on, keep in mind, we'll actually turn that off for this part. When you click this buy here, we're going to get buy custom, and you're going to get some options here. With OCO bracket, OCO stands for one cancels the other. So if we're going to buy an OCO bracket, we're going to have 3 different orders that we put into the queue. We're going to have the buy to open and then 2 potential sell orders, one on the profit side and one on the stop loss side, right? So if we see... And so typically the spread here is $1 in either direction, right? So our buy is 763.15. Our take profit is automatically set at 764.15, right? We can see that's a limit order that it's going to hit if our profit hits 764.15. And then here on the sell side, we have the stop loss 762.15, which is automatically set at $1 below our open price, right? And so you can adjust these using the arrows, you can just type in. So let's actually do $2 in either direction. So 765.15, and then here we'll do 761.15, right? We'll click out of the box, make sure that that's good, and then we're gonna hit confirm and send. Whoops, and okay, so you didn't, oh my God, okay. Let's actually do that again because the price moved quite a bit in the time that I did it. So we're gonna hit buy OCO bracket, buy. Oh my God, it did it again. So typically the reason this is happening, and I've never traded OCO brackets for shares on Tesla, but the spread, what's happening is it's more than $1 here, so it's immediately buying and immediately selling. So let's just make it a little bit more. So we'll just do 766 and 746, right? So we'll confirm that and send it. And now you can see, guys, that my buy order went, and you have the stop loss down here, STP, and you have the take profit up here. And then once we click auto send, we are free to drag these around, right? You can drag both around, and then this is like the actual process of moving up your stop loss and moving down your take profit. Tesla's not something I would buy right now, so this is probably going to stop out in a second. We can just wait for that to happen. But yeah, definitely a powerful tool if you want to kind of just leave your position, just set your position and leave it with your stop loss and your limit sell. Something that I did, once, when I was struggling with emotions. This is a very good thing to do. That way you can record whether or not you actually moved your stop loss and take profit. And if you did, then you can say, okay, well, I was letting my emotions get the best of me. And so that is, another good way to do it. So at any point, guys, another thing I want to show you is that you can cancel all orders. Just click this button here. You're going to cancel all active orders. Doesn't matter if they're OCO brackets, doesn't matter if they're stop losses, whatever, they're all going to cancel. So another thing you guys have been asking me is there a way to set a stop loss after your position is open? And I don't know that there is in TD, unfortunately. I'm not sure that if you were to cancel all these orders, I don't think there's a way to actually open up a just stop loss. So you can hit sell custom, and with stop doesn't mean it's just a stop loss. You're actually selling to open with a buyback stop loss. That's what that is, right? If that's complicated for you, that means you're opening up a short position with your stop loss being a buy order set above the point at which you set your sell to open order, right? So we can just do that to show you. So sell custom with stop means this is my limit sell order, right? If we ever got up to here, I would sell to open the position. And, you know, if the price continued going up, which is not in my favor, this would be my stop loss, right? And so that just stopped out. But yeah, so I can just show you what this would actually look like. So it would hit the sell to open order, and then my stop loss would be, so right now I have a short position, right? Position short. My stop loss would be here. So as long as Tesla continues going down, I'm making money. And it looks like this might be actually end up being a good position today. But as long as Tesla continues going down, I'm continuing to make money on this position, right? So PL open is like 270 right now, 295. So yeah, that is definitely something that you can do if you want that. But that's just the difference between, let's just stop this out or close it. So that's the difference between sell custom with stop and buy with stop loss. Okay, so if you want to buy with stop loss, that would be under buy custom with stop. Okay, so that would be here, and that actually just went. You get the gist because it's the same thing as the OCO bracket, right? So typically, guys, I use OCO brackets when I'm intraday trading. JNUG, JDST, those are good ones to use OCO brackets on, and it's good because you establish a range for the stock, which you know, shows you the place that you buy and then the place that you sell on either side. That way, you're trapping the stock. You're ensuring that you're not, you know, closing your position too quickly, and you're ensuring that, you know, you're not going to let your loser run to the moon, right? And you lose $1 million. So that's why it's important to have a you know, a sell order set on both sides. Typically, the cases where I would not use a OCO bracket on a day trade with shares is when I'm kind of, you know, potentially holding something overnight. Maybe it's a swing trade. I don't want to close something, and I'll use more of a mental stop loss. But guys, either way, I think it's really important to buy with a stop loss typically. So we go just buy custom with stop, and that's the other, you know, the brother to OCO bracket, which means you're opening the position here, drag this down so it doesn't hit, and you're opening the position here, and your stop loss is only down here. You don't have a take profit, right? So at any point, you can just drag the order on the other side, and we'll execute a market order as well, right? So I'll say that again. At any point, you can drag a limit order on the other side of the price, and you're just going to get taken out at the best possible price at the fastest possible time, just like a market order, all right? So guys, those are the differences between market orders, limit orders, OCO brackets, stop losses, all the basic types of orders in TD Ameritrade and how to actually use them in the paper account. It's the exact same, I believe, paper to live account, right? I haven't seen any differences using this paper account than, you know, I've experienced with the live account. But if you do see any, just let me know. I'm not someone that uses the paper account too often, as you can see from the bare bone structure here. But just let me know if you have any questions on that. Hopefully that was helpful for you to just kind of conceptualize those different orders, when to use each, and how to actually do that in TD Ameritrade.